the news desk of Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, this is News on the Hour.
In the headlines, federal government to formalize new agreement to boost university education stability. Resident doctors suspend planned nationwide strike. EFCC denies political bias in Malami investigation. Edo State postponed school resumption in Central District amid crisis. On the foreign scene, Sudan Army plans major offensive to retake Kordofan. And in sports news, AFCON 2025 Super Eagles train behind closed doors in Rabat. Good afternoon and thank you for staying with us in Diamond 88.7 FM. Lauren, this is the news on the hour. I am Bisola. Oduwole Sulieman. We'll bring you details of the news after this break. Please stay with us.
We've all heard about home fires taking lives and destroying all that a family owns. These tragedies are reminders for us to double-check for fire safety. Make sure your home has properly installed and working smoke alarms. Practice a fire escape plan. Never leave cooking food unattended for long. Teach children never to hide but leave if there's a fire. Switch off all electrical appliances when not in use. In cases of fire, remember, the most important thing to do is to protect lives first.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin.
Welcome back from that short break. Please note that you can listen to us via our website www.diamondfm.net or watch us live on Facebook at Diamond 87 FM and YouTube Diamond FM Ilorin. Now the news in detail. The federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, will on Wednesday formalize a new agreement aimed at improving the quality of university education and ensuring industrial stability in the sector. This was disclosed in a statement issued on Sunday by the Ministry of Education. The agreement unveiling will take place at the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TETFund, Conference Hall in Maitama, Abuja, and will be presided over by the Minister of Education, Maruf Alausa, alongside the Minister of State for Education, Suwaiba Ahmed. The development follows a recent 14-day ultimatum issued by ASU, which was later withdrawn after overnight negotiations with the federal government. President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, to attend the 2026 edition of the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, ADSW 2026. The Nigerian leader landed at the presidential wing of the Zayed International Airport at about 1:30 p.m. local time and was received by UAE Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Shakbut Nahyan Al Nahyan, alongside Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar, and other officials. President Tinubu arrived from Europe, where he spent part of his end-of-the-year break and held discussions with Rwandan President Paul Kagame and French President Emmanuel Macron. Still in the news, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has suspended its planned nationwide strike following the intervention of Vice President Kashim Shettima. NARD President Dr. Mohammed Sulieman, in an interview with newsmen on Sunday, said the decision to suspend the strike was reached after a meeting of the association's National Executive Council. He said the Vice President requested more time to address the issues raised by the doctors, and the NEC agreed to grant the request. Renowned author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie has issued a legal notice to Uracare Hospital in Lagos, alleging that medical negligence and professional impropriety led to the death of a 21-month-old son, Nkanu Nnamdi. In Kano, one of her twin sons died on January 7, 2026, following complications during preparatory medical procedures ahead of an emergency medical evacuation. According to the notice dated January 10, the child was referred to Uracare from Atlantis Pediatric Hospital for procedures including an echocardiogram, brain MRI, PICC line insertion, and lumbar puncture with intravenous sedation reportedly administered using propofol. The filing claims that during the transport from the MRI suite to the cardiac laboratory, the child suffered sudden and severe complications that resulted in his death, despite a specialist team at Johns Hopkins Hospital in the United States being on standby. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has dismissed claims that its operations target opposition figures, insisting that investigations are conducted without regard to political affiliation. EFCC Chairman Ola Olukoyede stated this in an exclusive interview with national television monitored by Diamond FM on Monday, stressing that the probe of the former Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, is not politically motivated. Olukoyede explained that the investigation into Malami predated his tenure as EFCC chairman and had been ongoing for nearly 2.5 years. He said his role was to ensure the case was handled professionally and thoroughly, adding that charges were only filed after the commission was convinced it had a strong case.
There is nothing personal in this matter, Q. If Nigeria should move forward, all of us must agree that this fight must be fought without being partisan. And that's what I want Nigerians to understand and to agree with us. So now I want to tell Nigerians that the investigation of this man predated me in the office. And a lot of people don't know that. I inherited the investigation file. What I did was to ensure that the investigation was carried out in a very professional and thorough manner. He has been under investigation for almost 2.5 years. Over 2 years I've been in the office. We've been painstakingly, carrying out the investigation, trying to establish, some of these, offenses and all of that. Not until I was convinced that we had a watertight case, and Nigerians are witnesses. So there's nothing personal about it. I don't understand the issue of persecution and all of that.
Still on the local scene, the Edo State government has postponed the resumption of all public and private schools in Edo Central Senatorial District until further notice. Commissioner for Education, Dr. Padi Iyamo, said the delay is to address pressing issues aimed at improving the welfare of pupils, adding that a new resumption date would be communicated in due course. The decision follows a protest over insecurity on Saturday in Epoma, Eson West, a local government area, which escalated into violence. Meanwhile, the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the Edo State Governor, Bujie Okwemo, said the government refers to the perpetrators as criminals but cautioned against stereotyping them.
Be careful to stereotype them. These are criminals. We prefer to refer to them as bandits, and they can be any tribe. If you say Fulani herders, they are talking about Fulani people who herd cows. So we can't say all of them are criminals or all of them are involved in this criminality. So we might not choose to refer to them. We refer to them as what they are. They are criminals. They are bandits. Yes, intelligence shows that a number of them have northern extraction. But the truth is, when you're approaching security issues like that, you don't just, narrow down on one particular direction. You must be able to, cover all angles. We cannot rule out the fact that in some of these incidences, you also have local collaborators who probably point out people. And so the government will not want to stereotype the perpetrators. But of course, from intelligence, a number of them who have been caught are of northern extraction. But these are criminals and these are bandits. That's how the government would like to classify them as.
And lastly, on the local scene, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has clarified that there are no issues with the Accord Party following Governor Ademola Adeleke's defection from the PDP ahead of the 2026 Osun gubernatorial election. Speaking on national television and reported by Diamond FM today, INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in Osun, Mutiu Agboke, said the commission is fully prepared for the election. Agboke assured that the court party is in good standing with INEC, with no pending issues recorded against the party. He emphasized that the party successfully conducted its primary election, which was duly monitored by the Electoral Commission.
Everything was full and calm. In the record of INEC, particularly our headquarters office, the Accord Party had no issues whatsoever, and that was why they carry out their primaries according to our guideline. We were there to monitor it, and their candidate emerged. So as far as INEC is concerned, Accord primary has been duly conducted, and the candidate of that party has emerged.
And that's it on the local scene. The news on the hour is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry. Moving on to stop the foreign scene. Sudan's armed forces, SAF, have renewed plans to launch a major military operation to retake the Kordofan and Darfur regions from the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, as the country's civil war enters its third year. The army said it has been assessing Rapid Support Forces' capabilities and redeploying troops in preparation for what it described as a highly coordinated offensive. According to Sudan's armed forces, the planned operation would surpass the recapture of Khartoum in March in terms of scale and planning. Still in foreign news, United States President Donald Trump has said Washington is considering strong actions, including possible military intervention in response to Iran's crackdown on anti-government protests. Speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One on Sunday, Trump said the U.S. military was assessing the situation, adding that Iran's leadership has reached out to negotiate, though action could come before any planned meeting. Tehran has not officially responded, but Iranian leaders warned against foreign intervention. Parliament Speaker Mohammed Bakr Kalibaf said any attack on Iran would make Israel, along with U.S. bases and ships in the region, legitimate targets. And that's it on the foreign scene. Moving on to the world of sport, the Super Eagles were trained behind closed doors on Monday as they intensify preparations for the highly anticipated semi-final encounter against Morocco. The session will hold at the complex Mohammed VI in Rabat. The training session will commence at 6 p.m. local time. The players and their officials are expected to arrive Rabat from Fay Monday afternoon. They will be lodged at the Rehab Hotel. And still in sports news, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has reportedly begun an investigation into the ugly confrontations that happened after Nigeria's 2-0 win over Algeria during the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations quarterfinal in Marrakesh. It was gathered that CAF is reviewing reports from referees, security personnel, and media representatives. Victor Osimhen and Akor Adams scored in the second half to secure the Super Eagles' passage into the semi-finals. And that's it in the exciting world of sport. With that, we've come to the end of the news on the hour for today. But before we go, here's a recap of the major highlights. Federal government ASU to formalize new agreement to boost education, university education and stability. Resident doctors suspend planned nationwide strike. EFCC denies political bias in Malami's investigation. Edo State postpones school resumption in Central District amid crisis. On the foreign scene, Sudan Army plans major offensive to retake Kordofan. And in sports news, AFCON 2025 Super Eagles train behind closed doors in Rabat. Those are the major headlines as brought to you. Before we wrap up the news, we take a look at our Today in History segment. Did you know that on this day in the year 2006, the Oyo State House of Assembly impeached Governor Rashidi Ladoja on corruption allegations? His impeachment was later overturned by the courts. Now you know. For news coverage or information about happenings around you, kindly contact the Diamond FM newsroom number on 0916007 09160627526 or 09160627526. Join us at 3 p.m. for the news flash and at 5 p.m. for the news across the world for a comprehensive bulletin. The news on the hour was edited by Adeyemi Adewale. I am Bisola Oduwole Sulieman. Thank you for listening to your shining Supreme station. Do stay tuned for the news in Yoruba coming up shortly. Good afternoon and have a lovely rest of the day and a wonderful week ahead.